My name is William Starsny. This is my Lesson A interview for AJS 205. So the very first question that I have for the interview is, tell us a little bit about yourself. So I come from a very diverse background. I started in my professional experience as a cadet, the Scottsdale Police Department. There I started as a recruit and rose through the ranks all the way up to lieutenant, and I held various different roles in that position. Some of which being training other recruits and other explorers, cadets, in various different aspects such as Fourth Amendment laws, patrol techniques, active shooter response, various different techniques, and then all the way up to organizing and help plan and run various events such as big as the Waste Management Phoenix Open. And then during this time, I was also a manager at Harkins Theaters. I started as a team member and then rose through the ranks there as well, and ended as an assistant manager, technically an assistant manager 4, which is the highest level, where it was my duty to discharge the duties of the general manager when they're not in the building, and also ensure that the overall theater operations for the theater are run smoothly when the general manager is not in the building. And then I also come from my most recent job experience at one of the largest banks in the world, and that'd be Wells Fargo. And in this capacity, I'm a fraud and claims operations specialist, and it is my role to sift through various information, various resources, to investigate and resolve various cardholder complaints or claims. So I do the various research, I do use various investigative techniques to find out if there are dispute rights that we have, and then discharging those dispute rights to the merchant's bank, and coming to a successful resolution while also giving out certain credits to the cardholders, reversing any fees and anything like that. And then I also, of course, I have my educational experience. I am a certified EMT, and then in addition to that, I'm also going through school to be a social worker and have an associate's degree in that, as well as also completing a law enforcement certificate course, which deals with very basic investigative roles, understanding report writing, and essentially the police function and ethical standards that go into that. So the second question is why this agency, and specifically I modeled this question towards the Department of Public Safety or state troopers. And so throughout my life, I've interacted with various law enforcement agencies. I've, just in a normal civilian capacity, but also in my role as a cadet, and educationally with ride-alongs and that kind of thing. And I saw how a lot of different agencies interact and how they do business. And DPS has always stood out to me for their integrity, their honesty, professionalism, courtesy, to always set themselves apart from everyone else. But I think the best way that I can characterize this is not only with stories, but also a little bit of folklore. I remember one of the first things that an officer told me when I was a 14-year-old cadet was that a state trooper's uniform could cut through a stake with the crease on it, or the crease in a trooper's uniform could cut through a stake, and that just kind of embodied the idea of professionalism that they have, just with going into how they look and making sure that they are always, in my mind, a perfect embodiment of how a police officer should look like, but also how they should act with the public. And then in addition to that, one of my most recent coworkers, she is non-binary and transgender, and typically the interactions that she has had with law enforcement has not been very good, especially when she was growing up. And so she learned very quickly to have a distrust of law enforcement anytime that she interacted with them. And when I started working with her, she found out that I wanted to be a peace officer. And one of the first things that she asked me is what level I wanted to work at, local, state, or as a county deputy. And I told her that I wanted to be a trooper, and she almost just seemed to be relieved. And she was like, "Oh, thank God." And it's definitely something that has stuck with me to this day. And I kind of challenged her on it, and I was like, why that reaction? And she said that growing up in a rural town in South Dakota, the different law enforcement agencies characterize different aspects. And she said one thing that you could always count on was that the local municipalities, their law enforcement officers, were usually corrupted or not as professional as they should be. And she said that the deputies don't really know what they're doing, but you could always trust a trooper to help you when you needed it and to always be there for you. And that kind of struck a chord with me, and it kind of personified what I have been thinking about as a trooper. That they are, when all else fails, they're the ones that are there for you. That they are uninhibited in their ability to execute the laws and the duties of a peace officer while also doing it professionally and respectively and doing it humanly. And so that's one of my biggest reasons for applying with that agency. My third question is, what have you done to prepare yourself? And so this mainly comes from my professional experience. So I have done various things to prepare myself for this position. And one of the biggest things professionally is obviously my experience as a police cadet. And from there, I was able to learn so many different facets of law enforcement, from the patrol function, from community policing, all the way to things such as active shooter response. And in addition to that, my professional experience of my work ethic and my jobs that I've held. I have always been in a customer-facing role, in a customer service role, where it is my job to interact with the daily public. And working at a movie theater where there is some weekends up to tens of thousands of people, there is going to be issues that arise. There's going to be medical emergencies, there's going to be fires. And it was my job to always take a complaint, or what we called a concern, and made sure that it ended with me, that I was being empathetic, that I was treating that person like a person, but also trying to resolve the issue to ensure that it never came up again, not only from a customer standpoint, but also from an employee standpoint, to ensure that the training embodies what we want the people to see. And then that extended into my role at Wells Fargo, where now it is my same role to resolve these issues, but now it's from a financial standpoint. And then, of course, I have my training as an EMT and a social worker, which allow me to deal with situations on not only a conflict level, but also on a empathetic, psychological level, and also on a physical level, where I'm able to treat certain problems that a person has, whether that be a cut or other things, to ensure that everything is being resolved properly. So question number 4 is, what are your strengths? And then one of my biggest strengths that I have is my problem solving and conflict resolution abilities. Like I said before, I've always been in a customer facing role, and it was my job to deal with every concern and complaint to the best of my abilities, and to ensure that it was resolved every time and that it resolved with me. And going into that, it was always best practice that I learned over time, to always be empathetic, to always be trustworthy to the person, and to always have their best interests in mind, while also keeping in mind company policies and such as that. And then one of the biggest things with that is to treat people like people. And that is not something that you can easily train to do. You cannot train a person to be empathetic. You cannot train a person to treat someone like a person. It is something that is inherently done, but I've been able to emphasize this and work on this and expand on this in my personal life, to ensure that I get the most out of this as possible, almost capitalizing on it, on my ability to talk to people. And then question number 5 is, what are your weaknesses? And one of my biggest weaknesses is I get too involved in a situation. I get too absorbed into the problem. I typically like to be at a problem from the start to the finish. Like I said, that comes from my previous experience where things were meant to end with me. And so I tend to get attached to not necessarily the person, but the problem, to work it out for them, to ensure that it's resolved fully. And this can help in the sense that, like I draw from my experience as a social worker, or as education in social work, and also the medical field, where the patient and the victim is your utmost priority. They are your entire world. And so that also kind of stems into my ability to problem solve, is that I want their problem to be my entire world, or else I'm not putting enough resources to solve their problem. And this can be a very good standpoint from a law enforcement perspective, where there's community-oriented policing, where you're trying to make the community's problems yours, and a better way to understand the community itself. However, I don't tend to push this into an unprofessional or emotional connection when it's not appropriate. I've learned over the years when to draw the line, not only from an organizational standpoint, but also from a personal standpoint, where maybe I'm not able to successfully discharge my abilities to resolve that problem with that person, and now it is becoming an inhibitance to me trying to fix that problem for them. So the next question is number 6. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I see myself in 5 years. This is also pertaining to a question geared towards state troopers. Is that I feel like 5 years down the road, I would be putting my roots into the agency. So I'd be devoted enough to the agency. I would have